On today's episode, we're talking about empathy. Let's go. Welcome to Real Talk Real Quick, a bite sized moment of honesty for moms who don't have time for fluff. In the next few minutes, we're going to get real about motherhood, mental health, and little shifts that can make a big impact. Let's get going. Hello, and welcome back to Real Talk Real Quick. Today, we're talking about something near and dear and greatly affecting my heart, and likely the heart of many of you. I want to talk about empathy. We hear it a lot, and let's talk about what it really means, why it is so often misconstrued as a weakness, and how we as parents can use our empathy as a superpower, but also recognizing the struggles, especially right now. I don't know, who am I kidding? I was going to say, I don't want to get political, but there's a lot of heavy shit happening right now. I myself just recently had an incident with some long term friends saying some really hurtful shit to me because I didn't unabashedly agree with them. And when you are an empathic person and you can immediately walk into a room and feel tension or anger, emotions, things like that, it really starts to weigh on you. So let's dig into the nitty gritty here and figure out what is empathy, how you can use it for good, how it's making you a nervous wreck. And I'll give you some tips at the end of how you can kind of take control of that empathy. So, at its core, empathy is really just the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. And it's not just listening to the words, but more actually feeling what another person is feeling. So some of us are just naturally wired to be that way. Like I said, I can walk into a room and instantly sense the tension, the unspoken emotions and kind of the shift in someone's energy. And it's also kind of anxiety inducing for me sometimes because I'm like, well, why are you acting this way towards me? Like, what are you doing? Like, what did I do? What did I do? And it can, you get stuck in this spiral where you're constantly worried about it. So that can also negatively affect you as a parent, but it can be super powerful. So when you're raising your kids, empathy is an absolute game changer. It helps you understand why your kid is having a meltdown. You see that fear, or you understand the loneliness that can come with anger when a friend isn't available, and it allows you to respond with a connection instead of just a correction or, you know, okay, like it helps you connect better with your kids. Now, that doesn't mean that you let the exaggerated behaviors slide because you understand why your kid is hitting the other kid or why your baby bit you or whatever. But empathy helps you see the need behind the behavior. So, we see a lot of adults in this current time lashing out, and there's a lot of aggression and disdain for people who think differently than them. And as an empathic person, you can see those people and be like, oh, it's because you just don't know how to communicate your needs. You don't you're frustrated because you're hurt that somebody is disagreeing with you, or you kind of can understand why the behaviors are present, but you don't you can understand why the behaviors are present, but you don't need to allow the mistreatment or the misplaced behaviors. So when you're kind of starting that with your kids early, you're building emotional intelligence and you're raising kids who are going to be whole members of society and not just reactive, because they're going to understand and be able to reflect on, why did that affect me so much? Like, why does that bother me in certain situations? And the big bonus is being empathic makes you a better listener. So it makes you a better partner, it makes you a better friend, because you're not just hearing people, you're really understanding their behaviors and actions and emotions. And right now, the world needs more empaths. I know that there is a contradictory argument being made that empathy is weak. But right now, it seems like everyone's screaming at one another and they're screaming to be heard. And being somebody who can tune in and validate another person's feelings is incredibly powerful. It can also be draining and exhausting, and it feels so heavy sometimes. I mean, we live in a world with a constant barrage in the news cycle. Politics have never been more divisive in my lifetime. And there's a lot of fear, anger, uncertainty, and just sadness around us constantly. For empaths, all of this emotional noise can feel like carrying everything you own in a backpack. And as moms, we still have to be tuned in, switched on, and ready to perform, as it were, to do our mom job. And it's too much. So if you're feeling this right now, I really want to give you a safe space to say, this is really fucking hard and I'm exhausted. I've had this conversation with so many women right now. And when we're in a society like this, sometimes empathy is given a bad rap. It's labeled as weakness. You're told you're too sensitive, you're too emotional, it's not that deep. But if you don't take anything else away from this, I want you to hear me right now. Awareness is not weakness. Connection is not weakness. The ability to feel is what makes us human. So when we start to numb ourselves to these emotions and these feelings, that's when we start to build disconnection. That's when we start to build division. We need more people to turn back up their ability to feel. We need more people to be in tune to the feelings and needs of others so we can create the community to support one another instead of trying to build islands of people who only agree with everything at one time. Okay, pause. I need to shout out our first official partnership with Get Your Pink Back. This badass mom owned brand focuses on telling women that even in the thick of motherhood, you don't have to lose your sparkle. Their clothes and accessories are a subtle and comfy nod to the honest battle that we're all fighting to get to who we are. Here at Honest Mom Talk, we're proud to partner with a brand that reminds you you're still you under all the chaos. So check out Get Your Pink Back with the link in the show notes, because retail therapy is self-care, and mama, you earned it. All right, now back to real talk. So as we're sitting in this space, how do you protect your empathy and not shut it down? So I've thrown together 4 little quick tips on how you can continue to nurture your empathic self, but also keep yourself safe as we're just constantly inundated. Number one, you've heard me say it before. One of my favorite things, set some boundaries. You don't have to absorb every story. You don't have to take on every struggle, read every headline. It's okay for you to turn off the TV or shut down Instagram and say, I can't do it right now. My capacity is at full limit, can't handle it. Boundaries protect your energy so you can show up where you need to most. If you know you've got a full docket of weekend shit for the kids, don't watch the news on Friday. Don't look at your social media, because it's going to continue to be hard. Until change comes about, it's going to be hard. Another one, ground yourself on a daily basis. So whether you practice deep breathing, you're journaling, mental health walks, drinking a cold glass of water. My favorite thing to do when I'm dealing with a freaking out toddler or a whiny 7-year-old is to go touch grass. Literally, go put your feet on the ground. You need to find some way to release what isn't yours to carry. And so finding a way to ground yourself every day is going to be super helpful. Number 3 seems pretty obvious, but I know a lot of us are struggling with it. Limit your input when you need to. It's not burying your head in the sand. It's not hiding from reality. It's recognizing when you've hit your limit. And we all need to do it. Think about when your kids were newborns and they would do that purple crying where they were just fucking crying for no reason, and you would have to set them down and take a step away. We so often as mothers allow other people to reach those limits and take a step away. I was very protective of my husband with both of my kids. When they would be screaming, crying, whatever, I would immediately step in. We have to do that for ourselves. Put your oxygen mask on first. So recognize that you can care deeply and care emphatically, but also you still need to take breaks from the noise. Like, I will continue to advocate that right now, and it's my least favorite term as a 41-year-old woman, shit is unprecedented. We are seeing instant information, constant information, big changes, emotional shit on a scale we've never seen it before because we have instant access to global information. Our brains are not made for this. Our nervous systems are not made for this. You have to limit your input of information. Number 4, turn your empathy inward. We empaths are great at showing compassion for other people, but sometimes we need to practice it on ourselves too. Notice how you're feeling, acknowledge how you're feeling, and give yourself permission to take those breaks, turn off the TV, say no. I will climb every mountain and scream, it's okay to say no, because I continue now, especially since school's back in full swing, to see people not say no. It's okay to take a 6-week break from soccer. It's okay to not volunteer at library. It's okay to say no, and you're not a bad person for doing it. So this one goes out to all of us who've been told we're too sensitive, we're too emotional. It's time for us to flip that script. Next time someone says that to you, say, well, how do you feel that I'm too emotional? Make people start to recognize that emotions are not weakness and feeling is not a bad thing. I want you to flip the script on them. You're not too much. You're exactly what we need right now. Being an empath is hard. Empathy is strength. This empathy being weakness narrative is such misogynistic, patriarchal bullshit. It just is. And I'm sorry if people don't want to listen anymore because I'm taking this turn and having the honest conversations that I promised I would have. But I, as an empath, have been struggling because I see so many people making decisions that are hurting other people for no other reason than they believe it, so everyone should. It's going to take boundaries. It's going to take self-care. It's going to take hard work. You can do it because you are an intentional, badass, world-building mom. And you have superpowers. You've proven that. You're raising humans to be the best versions of themselves in a world that wants nothing more than for us to give up and fail and rely on systems that have been broken forever. This got heavy, but I'm very passionate about this. I'm seeing so many people dim their lights and make themselves quiet because they're afraid and uncertain. And we have to stop this. We have to, and I don't know what this is. Your this is different than my this. So I'm not going to get specific, but we have to continue to be empowering, intentional, and incredible women because we are. And, don't make me sing Beyonce, but like girls run the world. We truly do. There's never been a time where women were not necessary to get shit done. So remember that. And remember, your feelings are valid. Your friends' feelings are valid. And if they don't want to have a conversation with you about why you disagree, they're not your people. Come be my people. I am open and welcoming to people who want to communicate and feel and be honest about things. So take care of yourself and we'll see you next week. Well, that's your dose of real talk, real quick. If this hit home, share it with a fellow mom who needs to hear it too. And don't forget to follow Honest Mom Talk for more unfiltered conversations every week.